Hello, hello and welcome back to Space Engineers on the Xbox, on the Series X, for a second look at remote grid control. I've been playing around with this for a few days, poking at it, prodding it, and seeing what else I can do with it. And, well, if you remember last time, we closed and opened a door and turned on and off a light using our ship from all the way over there. Now, this is the opposite. By using a control seat and a fake block, in the case of this, a programmable block, we can scoot over here and we can turn our little ship light on, and we can turn our little ship light off. So, ship light on, ship light off. Wow. And again, all done with antenna and a beacon. The beacon being the most important part. We can go virtually any distance with this beacon and turn that light on and off. Big whoop, some people might say. Wow, he can turn a light on and off with that. But there is another application, and this is what I've been poking at for the last few days. Say hello to my base. Now, here is my Atmo flyer. You might remember this one from my videos on how to make auto-docking ships a bit ago. If we fly our little flyer away here, however, and just leave it there and come back to our little headquarters, the application of this particular trick is very interesting indeed. We sit here and we send a command to our little remote flyer over there and bring it back to base. Just to prove I'm not actually controlling it while in the seat. This is doing its automated docking sequence, and if you want to know how to do that, there are numerous videos on my channel. You just got to check them out under the Automatons DLC. How is it done though? Well, that is a question, and that's what I've been pondering for the last few days and getting to work, and I found the key to it. There's a couple of things you need to make this work. First of all, you're going to need some way of controlling it from the base, like a control seat, your antenna, your beacon on your remote control ship or your drone or whatever, and at least 2 event controllers. And you're going to set up a system that uses 2 fake blocks, 2 what I like to call control blocks. These blocks are switches, so you could call them switch blocks. They perform only one function, and that is to turn on off and to be detected by event controllers, which will detect if these blocks are on and off. Now, the way I've done it is that I've used my trusty programmable block, since it does nothing in this particular version of the game unless it's on a dedicated server, to control the grid. So we start by adding a programmable block excuse me, and you can find these programmable blocks under Advanced Systems on your build wheel by clicking in the left stick. When we have that, we have a programmable block. We add the programmable block to our control seat by holding up on the D-pad, choosing the block in our list, pressing A, and having toggle block on off as our choice. That lets us toggle that block on off. Then we make sure that our ship, our grid, is connected to our connector, like so, and locked. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have two event controllers. So you place two event controllers down anywhere on your grid, and you pop in I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Pop a control block. Like this one, we're going to use a light on the grid as well. And with this, we are going to read the states of these blocks using these two event controllers. First of all, if I jump into my control seat and open up event controller 1, we'll start at the beginning with that. You want to choose damn it, I'm losing my voice. Great fun. Excuse me a second. I sound like a Dalek. We're going to use block on off switched. And that block on off switched is going to give us pretty much control over the first block, our programmable block on our grid. And you can see it's on our grid because it's a different colour to the original block. It's not white, it's on a subgrid. This is going to give us control over these actions here. So we choose the block down here. You'll see it will appear there under programmable. It won't at the moment because it's actually on our list. And we add it. And then to our select actions, we want to add our light here, like so, rotating light, on, then off. And that's all we need to do with event controller 1, is to make sure that it's block on off switched, choose programmable block, and then make sure the action controls our rotating light on and off. And as you see, when this grid is active, the remote control light indicates on, and when the remote control, the autopilot, is off, the light will stop rotating. Now, event controller 2, block on off switched, and this time we want the rotating light, so we add the rotating light. And here's where it gets interesting. We select our actions. So on our first toolbar, and remember we can have up to 9 toolbars of actions on an event controller, and this is the trick to get this to work. On your first set of actions, you want AI flight move, AI behavior on, and in the second slot you want AI behavior off. So all you need to do is select AI flight move, press A, choose on, and then choose off. Without coming out of this menu, tap the right trigger once to move to 2, and this time you want our AI recorder task block on and off. Again, you want AI behavior on, AI behavior off. So this one, choose the same thing, AI behavior on and off. So make sure that both of the move and the task are AI behavior on off in the first two slots. In the third slot, we want to go back to our AI recorded task and we want to choose play on off. And nothing in the second slot. Ignore the second slot. And when we've done that, we can step out the grid and check the connection between the ship and the first switch. You'll see the light comes on and you'll see that the grid itself is changing power and so on. That is because the ship itself is trying to move and it can't because it's already done its flight. Off, light goes off. So our AI controllers are in the off state. We can undock. We can fly our little ship off to the side here like this. Jump out. Come back here. Now, when we turn on our programmable block from this grid, it's going to send a signal via that beacon to the ship to turn the rotating light on via the event controller. So it's going to detect that this programmable block is switched on and it's going to send a signal to the event controller on the ship to turn the rotating light on. When the rotating light's on, the second event controller turns the autopilot on the ship and brings it back to the dock. And then when you turn the programmable block off, it shuts the system down and allows you to fly the ship again manually. And you can do this from any distance, really. It's got quite a range on it because beacons do have. If I take it all the way over here and just say leave it there and then come scooting back to our base, just to give you an example of our test. Of course, it's finding our base again. That's the tricky one. That's not it. Half the fun. There it is. So it's all the way over there. And now it should be coming back. It is a bit of a distance, so it'll take a little bit of time, but it will be on the way back. I have every confidence that it will follow its simple route back to the headquarters and dock. And that's how it's done. The key, though, is to make sure that you set up that second event controller off the rotating light or whatever dummy block you're going to use, whatever switch block, control block. And basically make sure that slot 1, 2 and 3 are occupied on the event controller with the AI flight move, AI behavior on off, the task AI behavior on off, and the task play on off. When you do that, you can actually remotely send a signal to the grid to bring your drone back in for a landing. So you could use this for fleet controls and fleet command. And all this has been blown wide open thanks to Pistol Play on YouTube, who originally posted that short video and was kind enough to share it with us on the Space Engineers Discord. And since they've been doing that, they were talking about how to send remote signals to their fleet. And, well, as you can see, it's not a fleet, but it is coming into land and to dock remotely. And there you go. That's how it's done. If you follow on through this, you should be able to set this up yourself. Remember, you are going to need to be able to set up a drone or a flyer like this with the correct docking system. I've got videos on how to do that. If you look through the channel, you'll see them. I will actually link the video on how to do it on the channel, because I did refresh the method from the beta to the retail, if I remember correctly. Anyway, there you go. That's all I have time for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Hopefully it's given you some ideas. I'd love to see what you're going to do with it and how far you can take it. Hopefully I will have more videos in the future as I expand my knowledge on what we can do with these AI blocks and how we can play around with them, the various things we can do. And of course, as Keen updates the game over time, we shall get more functionality, hopefully more events on the event controller and more things to do. Until then though, stay safe, take care, have fun, enjoy the game, happy engineering, and stay tuned for more from me on No Man's Sky, on Space Engineers, and on September the 1st or thereafter, we'll be jumping into the Starfield. So spool up your grav drives and get ready for adventures in over 1,000 planets in the settled systems and beyond. Bye for now.